Technology, gadgets, social media. How amazing are all these things? Technology is one reason for a lot of progress that we see in this generation or the generations that have been before. And then how is this technology being used? I mean, are we using the technology? Are we using the social media? Or, are we letting ourselves be driven by technology, social media, gadgets, and other kinds of exposure, any kind of media for that matter? And I've always appreciated social media for the reason that it connects me with a lot of people who otherwise wouldn't have stayed in touch, who I wouldn't have stayed in touch with if not for social media. And of course, I've gotten back in touch with a lot of people from many years back. How we are all informed about what's happening in their lives and how we share a piece of each other with a lot of people. And that makes me really feel good. And it's only very natural. That connection encourages us to continue to keep in touch or continue to tell people what we're doing and continue to update things on social media so that people know what's happening in our lives. Of course, we seek validation to an extent. Of course, we want to showcase what's happening in our lives. And it's very natural that people of any age love this. Having said that, we also know how the exposure to social media, how the exposure to technology, gadgets is impacting how we're thinking and how we are showing up every day. I mean, I'm very appreciative of all these things, and I'm also appreciative of what a human mind is capable of. And we do know the attention span of people in general and also especially of children varies depending on their exposure to gadgets and technology and social media. So how do we counter that? Are we going to sit and complain about how much time our kids are spending on social media, or are we going to complain about how we get so compelled to watch these series and how we stay on gadgets for an extended period of time every single day? Are we just going to complain about, oh, it's going to take a lot of my time each day, I want to get away from it? Are we going to have that relationship with social media or any kind of media? Or are we even making an effort to stay in a healthy relationship with the technology that we as people have invented for our own convenience and comfort? Maybe it's time we look at it like that instead of complaining all the time about what is not working for us. What has been working for us? Connecting with people and continuing to work. We were able to work through the pandemic as well, and we were able to go about our livelihoods because of technology. And isn't this a reason enough to be grateful for technology? Trying to limit children to help them, of course, improve their focus, improve their attention span and stuff like that. How do we negotiate with them? Are we going to help them understand? Of course, we do try different things to help them come to a place where they start to have a healthy relationship and association with gadgets and technology and social media. How can we begin is by placing some limitations and boundaries in place, by telling them about the adverse effects if we overuse anything at all, and then helping them understand how limiting the usage of technology to a certain amount of time during the day would help them improve in other areas of their lives. And when we do this, and when we say and not follow it ourselves, of course they're not going to trust us and they're not going to follow the instructions. And the truth is, we represent what we do, it's not just what we say. So yeah, the children, no matter how young, how little they are, they do understand, if somebody says and not does things the way they say, then they're not trustworthy. And you will see the impact of that in how they behave and how their beliefs shape up. So watch out when you say and just say and not do. And it also concludes that you cannot expect your instructions to be followed. And then when you take away the gadget time, how are you helping them fill that time with? What are you doing in that time, or how much are you present as a parent or as somebody who's taking care of children? And that is also something that we have to watch about. And what can you do? How can you engage them effectively during that time when you don't want them to go near the gadgets or technology or social media? So that's of primary importance as to how you are engaging children and how you are engaging them with connection. It's not just about sitting down with them and not doing anything, or not communicating, or not connecting with them in a way that they would understand. And sometimes we do have family rituals where children are barely engaged. It's about following rules and following instructions and not actually engaging. So how do we get them to a place to engage with what we ask them to do? It must be through communication, where you help them understand why we are doing what we are doing, and how this is going to help in a way that they shape up over a period of time. And of course, it is not easy to keep the communication rational all the time, and it requires a lot of patience from your end as a parent or an elder, and it also requires a lot of continued efforts and and patience. So yeah, do continue to engage people, do continue to engage yourself with children, so that you also have that kind of deep connection with them while not engaging with gadgets yourself. And yeah, you represent what you do, not just what you say.